B, you said you was talking. You wanted to say something about Josh Hart's game and the rebounds. I heard you
Oh,
mention earlier.
I was very excited to see finally we got the Josh Hart minutes. I was like, I can't wait to see Josh Hart coming off the bench, and he didn't miss a beat. He had 13 rebounds in 18 minutes. Like
Dang.
what? Like
Yeah,
imagine if this guy, and efficient. I think he was also on some restriction due to the injury that he's currently dealing with, but he kept balls alive. Pause. Whoa. He kept balls alive. He kept a lot of balls alive when we needed the possession. We shot very poorly today. I don't care. Sometimes the stats don't even justify what was being seen. We went through a lot of slumps where there was times we went 0-7 in runs. We went like 0-8. We went a couple possessions where they would go on a run themselves, and he just when as soon as he was inserted, you saw what we saw last year, the Josh Hart energy. Um, that's all I really have to say. I was just very impressed when there's sometimes the commentary would say things and you're like, wait, whoa. And that was one of the things that as soon as I heard Stan Van Gundy say, or there was a Jeff Van Gundy, one of the Van Gundys were today, and he was saying 18 minutes, 13 rebounds. And I was like, wait, whoa, he has how many rebounds? And you saw it, but until they say it, you don't realize what
yeah.
they're doing. And I just shout out to Josh Hart for giving that energy off the bench because again, if you are starting Cat and you are starting Mitch and you're getting those bigs to start off, you need rebounding off the bench. And again, for somebody of his size to come out and do something like that, you would think that he was 6'7", 6'8". And he's not. He's 6'4", and he's giving you 13 rebounds. Just shout out to him. Shout out to OG last game, 14 rebounds. Shout out to our guys just doing things that weren't here that we didn't know that we needed them for. And again, I thought that Josh Hart was coming off the bench. He would suffer in certain things. We don't need his scoring. Probably don't even need his passing, but we need his rebounding. That's something that's very, very
Hell
big.
yeah,
And I'm glad that we still have that off Josh Hart off the bench.
100%.
Yeah, his rebounding is always going to be crucial. It's always going to be there. Hopefully, his defense stays at a high level because he's not playing 35 minutes a game anymore. I think 18, 20-minute a game version of Josh Hart will maximize a lot of his talents. And he won't be a negative on the defensive end. Decent first game for Josh Hart. I'm not sure if the shooting will ever get better with this season because of his thumb, but definitely good to see him back. And we'll see how Mike tries to use him because it's funny. I feel like more Josh might mean less Shamit, which means the spacing gets weird, which means some of the rotation gets weird, which means you're going to see a lot of 3 and 4 guard lineups moving forward. So it's having Josh here with the mix is it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what Mike Brown does with these lineups. He has a lot of options, a lot of them.
Yeah,
Not all of them fit cleanly, but he might have to, make something out of nothing.
yeah,
All right.
definitely. And I just want to add this about Josh Hart as well, because oftentimes in games, a guy can grab a lot of rebounds and, it's just putting up stats. A guy can grab like 12, 13 rebounds and just a guy getting, rebounds throughout the game. But it's a kind of rebound that Josh Hart gets. That's what makes him such a crucial player in the team. He gets those back-breaking rebounds.
Mhm.
When a team is trying to come back, he's there grabbing offensive boards, like just preventing that team from getting the rebound and getting it and just giving the team extra possessions. And that's what makes Josh Hart special. It's the kind of rebounds he gets in the game. And to me, it's just his first game back. So I'm not going to be too critical on Josh Hart on the offense side of the ball, because to me, it seemed like at times he seemed very confused on offense. He didn't know what to do. And he was kind of hesitant with his movements and kind of like picking up his dribble too early, looking around to see like who to pass the ball to and things of that nature. So I'm hoping as the season goes on, he gets more comfortable on the offensive side of the ball. The biggest hope is you would hope that he could, find some way to shoot the rock better, because that would definitely help the team as a whole. Yeah. But if not, at least he can, help the team in other ways that usually doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And his rebounds are always critical. He always seems to get that big rebound in big moments.
I really love that point, the back breaking rebounds and big moments, because there's different types of clutch players that we have on this team that not really conventional. We have the conventional captain clutch and Jalen Brunson, who has been the top clutch players in the NBA for the last few years. When the game is on the line, you give him the ball, most likely he's going in. And then you got Mikal Bridges. I call him a clutch defensive player because when you need a stop, even if it's on a big, he'll come out of nowhere and block a shot. We seen him get post up by who's the center on the Bulls?
Vucevic.
Vucevic tried to post him up for a game-winning layup, and he ended up blocking that shot last season. And he had a lot of defensive plays last season where I was like, wow, a clutch defensive player of the year. I call him Mikal Bridges. And then you have Josh Hart, who always gets those clutch rebounds when you need them. So we have different types of clutch players here outside of scoring, and Josh Hart is one of them on the rebound side of the ball.
There was a few possessions where he got 3 to 4 rebounds in one possession, which is why he ended up with the 13 rebounds.
Yeah. Whew, it's a lot of tough decisions for Mike trying to juggle these minutes. But I guess what he'll do, he'll just play everybody. He'll just play 11 people. I guess so. Yeah. Problem solved. Play 11 people.
Shout out Chuck D.
Oh, absolutely. Shout out Chuck D. Shout out to legendary Chuck D, Public Enemy. If you didn't know, I feel like Public Enemy, like, and Chuck D, and that whole aura is like even more what's the word, needed now. All right. He sends a $9.99 super chat. It says Josh Hart is a necessary Knickerbocker.
Yes.
He wants to keep. He's definitely on the side of Josh Hart. Salute to you, man. You've always been supportive. Always got big love for Chuck D for supporting the channel and everybody in Knicks Nation, man. He gives love to everybody in Knicks Nation.
Yes, thank you.
All right, yo, I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about when it comes to the game. Did you guys want to mention anything else?
Landry Shamet.
Talk about tough rebounds. That Landry Shamet rebound was crazy. Oof. In traffic, falling down, out of bounds, passing the ball out before he got out of bounds too. Yeah, Landry Shamet. Go ahead, B.
He was a guy who I think what we're seeing in these first 2 games, because again, it's hard to tell, but if we're going at this pace, one of the things I wanted to throw out there too real quick, at this pace, OG and Mikal will make all defensive teams. Landry Shamet, though, but to him, we saw last year the 3-ball from him, the glimpses when injuries did happen last year, and he came in and he had that, I think it was like an 18 or 15 game span where he was shooting the 3-ball very efficiently. That's another hot take where I say if Landry Shamet is going to come in the game and hit a 3-ball, we're going to win the game as well. That